and we'll see you next Saturday for the Royal Rumble. But first, I'm Joe Renton with my review of WWE Smackdown from the State Farm Arena in Bad Street, Atlanta, GA, the baddest street in the whole USA. Yes, I am so goddamn white, and you can't expect me to not be. Yeah, okay, I didn't exactly understand how to fully rhyme that. I totally lost the plot. As the gardener once said, as the gravedigger once said, Gravedigger, this Sunday in the Tacoma Dome. No, I don't know what I'm on about. I'm trying to entertain myself because this show, look, there were a few decent things, but sweet goddamn Christ, it's getting really hard to review Smackdown. So I may review next week's go-home show for the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I might have to just to see if Asuka and Kairi Sane can revive the very, very, very much on life support women's tag team championships that, in retrospect, probably should have never been created. It's been about 5 years, and they've had decent, wrestlers hold them. They've also had others that weren't any good, but at least had good character. And yeah, ever since Human Centipede and the NXT Women's and the Women's Tag Team Championships together, they haven't meant anything. Also, quick note. As far as where Okada may go, his contract expires on January 31st. He's going to face Hiroshi Tanahashi at the New Beginning and Nagoya show, I believe, in mid-February. So he could go to AEW, which would give him a chance to do outdates in TNA and Mexico if he really wants to wrestle all over the place. And Tony Khan will pay him a shit pot full of money. If he, as the rumors and innuendos say, if he wants to wrestle at WrestleMania, that may be a carrot that Triple H and Shawn Michaels can dangle. Well, Triple H can dangle it because Shawn Michaels, if he stares straight ahead, he'll be able to dangle the carrot. Otherwise, the carrot will go all the way over here. He lacks the vision to control his pupils in NXT and otherwise. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm not really taking this show seriously. And wherever Okada lands, I hope that he gets paid a ton of money. He can do what he wants to do. He's done literally everything in New Japan. The only thing he didn't do was match Masahiro Chono's 5 G1 victories. So that being said, also, in regards to Seth Pheasant Rollins being being possibly stripped of the championship because he did suffer a legit injury, apparently a torn MCL and a partially torn meniscus. People say this is similar to the injury he suffered heading into WrestleMania 33. And maybe, just maybe, I don't know. Let's say best case scenario, he's able to rehab it. He's able to take care of himself, able to work a lighter schedule, work tag matches, not defend the championship, and they build to him and CM Punk to close night one of WrestleMania 40. That's the best case scenario. That being said, if he can't go, if he needs surgery, if he honestly cannot function, if it's just going to be too goddamn painful and it's going to affect his health and his mobility to the point that the matches are not going to be very good, then strip him of the championship and have the men's rumble become, a championship match. Whoever wins, it should be CM Punk, will go on to WrestleMania to main event WrestleMania 40 Night 1. So what do you think is going to happen? Where do you think Okada's going to go, and what do you think is going to happen with Seth Rollins? I feel bad, but when people say, oh, he fought through an injury at WrestleMania 33, he was also 7 years younger, guys, and he's worked a hard style. He has understood how to take care of himself better, and he's in incredible shape. He also has that bad back injury. It may just be his body's finally saying, you're fucking done. Take it easy. Anyway, review starts proper now. Don't pull up any chairs. It won't take very long after this. So, there was about 12,000 people according to WrestleTix. WrestleTix does great work. Support them if you can. And 17,000 seat capacity. This is where the Hawks play. And there were more championships on this show than the Hawks have seen in quite a while. Yeah, Atlanta sports not doing all that well. So, Roman is here. Everything is not all right. Jim Uso didn't take care of it. Solo said, I'll fix everything. It's Solo, the tool man, Taylor. Ho, ho, whoa! He's just going to thumb everybody. It's thumb improvement. That was a missed opportunity. Nick Aldis introduces the four-way participants. Styles immediately signs the contract when he gets to the ring. So does LA Knight, yeah. Orton high-fives some kids on the way to the ring. He signs it. And Heyman says, Roman Reigns will not sign this contract. And Nick Aldis says, okay, if he doesn't, then it will become a three-way. Oh my. Match! Three-way match! And basically, the title will be stripped from Roman Reigns. And Heyman tries to, belly up to the counter, which is tough for him to do. The Alfred Hitchcock-looking motherfucker. He really does look like Alfred Hitchcock. You can't unsee it. He tries to plead and also knock Nick Aldis. And then the idea is that the contract isn't signed by the end of the night. It could end up becoming a three-way. Also, Styles and Knight end up brawling. And there are secret agents, man, except there's Jason Jordan and other men. And they're trying to take these two old men away from each other until the Rumble, till the Rumble. I don't know what I'm on about. Orton then pulls Heyman up by the tie, nearly causing the back of his head to have a beer belly. And he says he'll whip Solo and then he'll introduce Roman Reigns to the three most dangerous letters in all sports entertainment, RKO. Logan Paul is backstage. Styles tells Aldis that he wants LA Knight tonight. He gets it. So, LWO Hollywood versus LWO Wolfpack. I'll let you decide which is Hollywood, which is Wolfpack. You have Carlito, Wilde, and Cruz, formerly Mendoza, against Santos, Humberto, and Angel. And 26 minutes into the 2-hour wrestling program, the bell rings. And it ends about 10 minutes later with a roll-up on Carlito after some stuff. Pretty Deadly shows up to be interviewed by Kayla. I instantly said, no, I'm not going to listen to these fucking goddamn douchebags who I'm sure are nice people. Actually, based on interviews, they seem like nice guys. I hate them as characters, and it's not because they're heels, it's because they're lousy. They're a terrible team. They have a stupid presentation. They just do not add anything to the tag team division. Either repackage them, or just don't have tag team matches occur. Lashley and the Profits want to take on the final testament. The testament. I'll just say testament. I could just say that, right? I could just try with the other, but I should have workshopped that one. The group that Cross is leading with AOP and Paul Ellering with his weird Michael Jackson glove. And Scarlett's also there. It's about the only use for her because they don't let her do anything. Whose bar were they in, by the way? So Bate and Pete Dunne. He is back to being Pete Dunne. They beat Pretty Deadly. KO then has Logan Paul on his show. And they go back and forth, and look, the Logan Paul stuff's starting to grate on me a little bit. Not because, he's really a shit person in real life. He really is. But it's starting to become a little bit stale. A little bit stale. They're going to run into issues having him, as a champion. So it's going to have to end at WrestleMania, and he's going to have to be off till SummerSlam. They might want him for the Backlash show in France. They might want him for Bash in Berlin. But he needs to only ever be, holding this championship. Unless they're going to have him full-time, or mostly full-time. And that wouldn't be a good idea because the novelty would wear off. Logan Paul references 3 years ago at WrestleMania when he says 70,000 people saw Kevin Owens stunner him. Here's the problem with that. There were still restrictions because of COVID. So between the two nights, there was 50, 60,000 people, something like that, for the Raymond James Stadium community. Owens basically says, you put in a lot of hard work, but you're not Sami Zayn, you're not Kevin Owens, you're not any of these people. Logan's like, you're right. You're right, I'm not. I'm better because I'm successful outside of wrestling. I've knocked people out, I've done all this, but you have a weapon on your hand. Doesn't Logan Paul have metal in his hand? Didn't he talk about that stuff? And he faced off against Roman Reigns and talked about knocking him out with one punch. Then we get a sucker punch, and then a tackle, and then KO's hand gets slammed on the steps. Also, he said he would not be wearing that cast when the match at the Royal Rumble happened. Roman is upset. Everybody, Damage Control is at ringside. Bayley is on commentary. Asuka just, goddamn Asuka. But yeah, everybody looking oh so good, oh so nice, and having as much fun as possible. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire took on, Caden and Katana. K&K Security. This match didn't need security because everybody fell asleep and nobody would have cared. That's nothing against the women involved. Well, plenty against Casey because she's a weirdo. But You ever want to see 12,000 people fall asleep? Watch this match. They also didn't give them much of anything to do. And all this stuff where Alba and Isla were cutting these promos and they were trying to hype this thing up. They lost in 5 minutes, maybe. I don't even know if it was that long. There was a destroyer for no goddamn reason. Remember when Petey Williams actually made the destroyer matter? So, they also need to find a different finisher. Casey cannot hit that right. And Asuka and Kairi want a tag title shot. A taggle shot, as it were. They are going to get a shot next week. So I may end up actually watching it next week. I may do that just to see if Asuka and Kairi can actually do something good with it. WWE celebrates the memory of Pat Patterson. Google the Ring Boy scandal and go to the Rolling Stone article. That's all it's going to need to be said about Pat fucking Patterson, who created a lot of great things. Created the Royal Rumble and was a hell of a goddamn wrestler with a big draw in LA. Read up on it. He'll be looking up as we say bad things about him. So, you can't get me interested in this Final Testament. You just fucking can't. Cross is damaged. Not that he was ever really that great outside of, his brief, start in NXT, because then he got cut down by everybody. They're going to have a face-off next week. They're probably going to have that match at the Rumble, and we're just going to get that maybe on the pre-show. Replays of Hayes and Theory. Thankfully, they're both okay. Hayes is him. I do not see the Powerpuff Girls anywhere. Kathy Kelly, my God. And Theory is talking about, you tried to take me out. Theory, you were the one doing the move. I'm glad you're okay, but clearly it didn't knock anything into your skull. Waller says, I'll talk to Nick Aldis, and that match will be made official for next week. Theory says you gotta stop doing that. What? Having personality as opposed to you. Waller, also standing up for the business and should have pulled a Vader in Kuwait and slapped the shit out of that guy that was trying to knock wrestling. I'll hit you with a punch and it won't be a working punch. If only he had. Assuming that ugly-ass piece of shit would have had children, they would have been dizzy. So anyway, LA Knight and AJ Styles with 25 minutes left, and I wrote down, watch Jim Uso and Solo show up, cause DQ, and we go right into the next match. Hey, look, that's what happened. And then we go to Solo calling out Orton. They have a match. After Solo takes the announcer table bump and just says, fuck it, I'm not doing this, he battles back, keeps beating up Orton, but falls into the DDT spot. Styles and Knight fight off Jim Uso. RKO to Solo. Remember when Solo was mostly undefeated and protected and now doesn't mean shit? I'm sorry. He doesn't. This bloodline stuff is stale. They need to end it after Mania. They absolutely need to end it. And don't give me that Jim Uso could see the light or Solo and Roman could do good. Just dissolve it. You have to dissolve it. This is not long-term storytelling. It's just not working. It's not working out. They've stretched it out way too far. So, Styles and Knight are back in the ring, and eventually we get a fracas. We get RKOs to both of them. Roman Reigns, Superman donkey punches. What a maneuver. To Orton. He punches him, that is, and then Roman signs a contract, drops it at Aldis' feet. Tries to hit a spear, RKO, and there you are. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. A lot of jokes on this one. If I hadn't joked, I probably would have made this a record time SmackDown review. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments on this show and where you think Okada's gonna land. Hopefully in a plane, safely. And what is gonna happen with Seth Pheasant Rollins. His health is top priority. He's a father. Him and Becky deserve a happy, healthy life together. And if Rollins needs to take some time off, missing Mania is a goddamn bitch. The important thing is his health, especially after wrestling. Because the light at the end of the tunnel is getting a lot closer. Nevertheless, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.